Welcome back to Currency 365 and welcome to World News episode 15. It's a packed show tonight. Okay, so let me get started. I hope you guys are doing a fine, fantastic, feeling good, smelling good, looking good. And I hope you guys had a fantastic day today. Okay, so let's get started with World News. All right. So let's first look at the Dow Jones and the U.S. stock markets, and then we'll look at the Asian and the Europe markets and the world markets later. All right, so Dow actually finished down 239 points after a strong start. Okay, NASDAQ was down also 55 points. Oil was down all most of the day. It actually rallied a little bit, then came down. It closed around $44 a barrel. Okay. Gold down again. It's at 1104.9. All right, the euro gained at the end there against the dollar. So that's the markets, and so let's move on to Abadi. Okay, so Abadi made some statements. He actually put it on Facebook as well. Okay, he says the implementation of the package of reforms and move limbering measures to increase our efficiency performance of state institutions. Okay, so it says Prime Minister Abadi decided the following. Number one, 123 deputy ministers and directors generals of exemption. Number two, mention referred to retire or adjust their status by administrative law in accordance with instructions issued by the General Secretariat of Council of Ministers. Number three, the associate director general or the older section director of the department administration and continuing its work until the appointment of a general manager. Now remember, this was translated through Facebook, so if it's a little off, then it's because of the translation. Number four, competent committees continue to review the structures of the ministers and the level of performance and evaluation of seniors and others, and reports to the president of the council of ministers to the appropriate decisions. All right, so the translation is a little off from Facebook, but I guess we know what's going on. They're going to be doing some changes with the deputy ministers, the deputy generals, putting some things in, having people retire from their statuses, packages of reforms, more reforms, more reforms, more reforms. Hopefully we just get things done, okay? So let's move on. Iran, of course. Tehran is the big dog. It's the big place, the big city, the big province, whatever you want to call it, in Iran, okay? Tehran's disturbed by Abadi's reforms to topple Iranian advisors, okay? Political sources revealed that the reform steps taken by the Prime Minister Abadi, which unsettled Iran, being affected advisors working for the benefit of Tehran in a number of ministries. Okay, first of all, it's working on the benefit. You being in Iraq is benefiting Iran, not Iraq. You see? And then that's the problem, okay? That's the problem. Abadi's having a big problem with Iran because they're doing things to benefit Iran. Iran only cares about Iran. Anybody that lives in Iran, anybody that knows people in Iran, they will tell you that the government of Iran only cares about Iran. These are selfish people, okay? Not saying the Iranian people, because a lot of Iranian people are actually Western culture. They're if you seen clips of them, the new Iran on YouTube or anywhere else, you will see that they have a lot of Western culture in them now. Okay, the females speak well English. The males understand what's going on, but these people right here in power, They're only for themselves. And this is why they are flaunting the New Deal that isn't even, they haven't even been lifted completely out of sanctions yet, but they have. You see what I'm saying? Because they've been flaunting it so bad that the whole world knows that Iran's out of sanctions. Why are we even waiting? Why do we even need to hear from Congress or have them vote in September? And why did they need to wait till end of October when the whole world knows Iran's out of sanctions right now? So that's how bad they've been flaunting it. They don't care about nobody else but Iran. I don't know when people are going to get that, okay? They don't want Iraq to succeed, okay? And this is why a body has to do these reforms. Look, I'm sitting over here and I'm telling you that Iran, it's all over Iraq's neck. A body comes out with reforms and he's telling you that Iran influence has to go. It's killing Iraq's government. Okay, so that tells you right there. So anybody that was like haggling me about Iran, the guy that you're invested in, a body, is also telling you that Iran influence in Iraq needs to go and needs to go now because it's a negative influence. Bingo. So you can continue to deceive yourself and lie to yourself, but the own prime minister of Iraq is saying it worldwide, and Iran's not happy. Okay, so let's go to the Asian markets here. Shanghai Composite finished today 2%. DAX for Europe was at 0.31. FTSE 100 for Europe finished 1%, 35. CAT 40 0.23. Hang Seng let me see, almost 4%. Nikkei 7.71. We already know about the S&P. It was S&P 500 was down 1.39%. Mexican Bolsa was down 0.76. Brazilian was down 0.22. All right. So the big markets, the Western world was down. The Eastern, well, half the Western world was down. The other half was up, and then the Eastern world was up. Okay. So it's moving on. All right. So people are still talking about this guy, Dr. MG Randy, okay, about the Iranian Rael and how it's going to be 341. I don't know why we're still talking about this. I don't want to talk about this no more. Okay, he's on all the, I guess he's hitting up all the comment sections on every blog site and everything, talking about I guess he gave a date. He's talking about like within 10 days we're going to see major events happen. Yes, we're in September. We're going to see major events this whole September. And he's talking about major events that the Iran was going to revalue and peg at 340. Where is he getting all this from? Okay, I don't know. I talked about this yesterday and people are still bringing it up because he's still posting this stuff everywhere. Okay. And that's what people are still talking about it, okay? So I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of strange because he's still going at it. Or either he's still going at it or, excuse me, either he's still going at it or people are taking his post and they're recopying it on other. Might not even be him. It could be other people recopying it on other blog sites and other Dinar sites. The Dinar community is a small community, so if you see 5 of the same things, you're gonna think it's everywhere. Okay. The House of Representatives completed the second reading of the anti-money laundering law. We already talked about that. It would have been the article of the day, but I already read it on the first world news episode for the day, so I didn't do that again to bore you guys. But one of the subs made a good statement and said that they have to vote on the anti-money laundering law by the 23rd. Okay, and I also text one of my business partners about the 23rd and that they had to vote by the 23rd, and I found that kind of coincidence. Like, okay, out of all the things that are supposed to happen on the 23rd, people are talking about the Lord Jesus Christ coming back, and all these other major events, catastrophic event that's supposed to happen on 23rd. You Google the September 23rd, and you will see a list of all types of craziness that are supposed to happen on this date. Okay, but it's kind of fishy that Iraq would schedule it, and boom, it lands on the 23rd that the anti-money laundering law has to be passed. So that is kind of fishy. They could have done it on purpose. I don't know. I don't know. A lot of things are planned, and a lot of things are in what do you call those, coded numbers and coded things. So I don't know how they do this thing, but it was kind of fishy. All right, so let's see. Iraq will be included on the blacklist in the event of failure to approve the anti-money laundering law. Okay, so Mohammed Rashid comes out, and once again, they're talking about the anti-money laundering law if it fails. But he also gave the date October 1st. Remember, I always was saying it's in October. It's in October. He just gave the date. It is October 1st. Now, I know BGG and others have said October 1st. I, myself, never saw October 1st. I just saw October. I knew it had to be like maybe the first week of October, but this guy right here just said October 1st. Okay, and that's Hamad Rashid. Okay, he came out and he said it has to be done by October 1st, but we already know they have to vote on it by September 23rd. So it should be passed by September 23rd. Okay, unless something happens and they move it up or move it back or vote on it earlier than expected. Okay. Iraq used international bonds to finance the salaries and infrastructure. No, they have not done anything like that. That wording is wrong. It should say Iraq will use, if they can sell the international bonds, will use the international bonds if they can sell it to finance the salaries and infrastructure. That's how it should say. Okay, that title is off. So let me move on. Iraq begins a campaign tomorrow, which is Thursday, to borrow $6 billion to cover the deficit in the physical budget. Okay, $6 billion will not even do anything to that budget. That keeps growing daily as they fight Daesh. So let's see. Here's the headline. Iran has controlled Iraq for years. Now it may be pushed out. That is a headline coming from Iraq with people screaming in the streets protesting. So anybody that wants to haggle me about Iran, you're seeing there. Here's another headline about Iran controlling Iraq, and they must be pushed out for us to see the revaluation and the global market economy and things that we want to see. So, I mean, what am I going to say? I mean, people are going to haggle. People are going to haggle. It is what it is. You don't like the truth, then, whatever. It is what it is. All right, so let's move on. We just got to get Iran influence out of there. Maliki's using them, and Maliki's people are using them to keep Iraq in a situation where they're in bondage, man. We got to remove that, man. All right, so here's the article. The article of the day was the governor's central bank. The government is seeking to privatize the Rafidian and Rashid banks. Okay, so that was the article of the day. That is big news. That is what we've been waiting on. I know that was Mike from IQD was waiting on this as well on his checklist. So that's good to see that they're going to be doing that. Okay, so let's move on. This is a story that I didn't bring up, and I should have brought up a couple weeks. No, hold up. Yeah, about a couple of days ago. It's like ENI. That's the company's name, Eni or something like that. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but Eni Supergiant Gas Field Discovery, a game changer. The CEO says. Okay, Eni's discovery of potentially the world's largest natural gas field off the Egyptian coast will be a game changer for Egypt, and Egypt needs this badly. Okay, and the Mediterranean in terms of energy stability. The CEO of the Italian energy giant told CNBC. Okay, so Eni. in a press release said that it had discovered a supergiant gas field that could hold a potential of 30 trillion cubic feet of lean gas in place. It said the discovery well was located off the Egypt's Mediterranean coastline at the depths of 1,450 meters, with the prospective Zohr field covering an area of about 100 square kilometers. Okay, and Zohr is Zohr, just in case you guys want to be looking that up. So that's huge for Egypt. Wow, and this company right here. Okay, so that's cool. Let's see how many things I have left. Goodness gracious. It's a jam-packed world news tonight, I guess. I said that in the beginning. I thought I was lying, but I guess I'm not. All right, so let's see. Record 94 million Americans not in the labor force. Participation rate lowest since 1977. And this is from ZeroHedge.com. Now, this is alarming because we just got reports the other day that unemployment was at 5.1%. And you know what I said about that. I said, how dare they do that? How dare they lie to the American people that unemployment is 5.1%? You know what I mean? And 5.1% is almost like when we were with Clinton. And I think it's probably lower than that. I don't even know. But that was, when we were with Clinton, that was really low unemployment. You step outside in America today, they ain't, you might think, if you go around the world, if you go around America today, you would probably think unemployment, just by looking at people and how unhappy a lot of people are and a lot of people sleeping in the streets, you would probably think unemployment was at 40%. And that's probably where it's at. It's probably around 35% unemployment, maybe even higher. But now we're getting news that it's 94 million Americans. So how many Americans do we have? 360, maybe 370 million, and 94 of them are unemployed. Ooh. Lord have mercy, help us. We're going to need it. Let's see. Now let's talk about the Mayweather fight that's about to come up here. No one is talking about this fight because no one is buying tickets to the Floyd Mayweather fight this weekend. Oh, so it is this weekend. Oh, my goodness. I didn't even know. Okay, so no one is buying tickets to this fight, and this is supposed to be Mayweather's last fight. If you guys know boxing, you definitely know Floyd Mayweather. If you don't know boxing, you probably still know about Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather. Okay, matter of fact, I had a dream that he lost this fight for some reason. And it's up here for my September notes. It says, Floyd had a dream. Floyd loses by 1 point. Controversial fifth round gives Berto, who the guy he's fighting, the win in the end, which shocks the world. I don't know. That's just a dream I had, so I'm putting it on record. It was just a dream I had. I think Floyd will destroy this guy. That's why nobody's buying the fight. But I had a dream that Floyd lost by 1 because of a controversial fifth round, and it was surprisingly close. And that fifth round cost Floyd the match by 1 point. I have no clue, man. I just dream and it just happens. Okay. Well, sometimes it happens. Not all the time. But I'm just putting that on record because I don't want Berto to somehow win and then I come back and say, "Yo, man, I had a dream about that." People are like, "Nah, I don't. We ain't even trying to hear that." You know how people are. So. Yeah, so let's continue. The currency of the 50,000 dinars will be issued soon, and they're talking about being issued by the end of the year. It says the currency will go on the market in the next few months, and by the end of the year. Okay, so we'll see. All right, let's see. Let's go out with this. Something about. Okay, somebody named Martha put out some message to recaps about being censored and other people being censored because they're talking about religion and politics, and they were talking about and she says that what type of country are we now, and that we as a Dinar community, we be talking about Ramadan and other things like that, and no one gets censored for that, and that we all just need to come together and embrace each other and have a great world. So if you haven't seen this on recaps, it's a great statement she's making. So read it. So that's it for me, man. Currency 365. Woo! I'm winded. I'm out. Peace.